morning, everyone. At it again on my way to work. So I had another thought. Normally I try to space these things out, but when they get on my brain, I just go ahead and say it. So I feel like the question I have today, I feel like there is a war on the value of the woman. And this is why I call it the state of the date. And I say that because I feel like a lot of women. Now, of course, let me preface this by saying women are amazing. Yes, we men can't live without them. And like you said, women, God created women to just be irreplaceable creatures that's very important to this ecosystem we call life. Nonetheless, I feel like there has been a turn of events over the past few years that has really shifted things, further shifted things. Let's just say further. I mean, I feel like way back in the day, certainly when the culture, like when certain cultures of videos and hip hop, all those things kind of started, that kind of started the thing of objectifying the woman, so to speak, and all those things like that. And, and so I think that was the start of things kind of viewing women in a certain way. And I think nowadays, if you think about it, I think a lot of women are owed a refund from Netflix. Anyway, no, seriously. I mean, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. And I say that because if you think about it, a lot of women nowadays, if you find yourself preferencing when you meet a guy or if you talk to him on the phone, because nowadays you meet people all kinds of ways. So if you however you meet this person that you're trying to date or whatever, and if the first thing that you say to him is, I need you to date me, that's a clear indication that there is a war on your value. And the value is you feel like you have to remind a man of something that should be innately in his brain. Now, I get it. I'll put myself on the chopping block. I have been one of those people historically sometimes where you feel like you kind of do what's required for you to do. And if it's not for you to do, you're like, oh well, let's when in Rome, do what Romans do. However, it's not a good way to look at it. When women are saying date me and all this stuff like this, they're saying, listen, I need you to come up to my place of value that I see for myself. But when a woman has to constantly remind a man, it's just a reminder that her value is under attack. And so I say that nowadays is how do we get back to this place where we move out of this comfortable zone of dating, how we all do. A lot of people do it. Like I said, with the whole Netflix and chill thing, that started a real bad era, because it put it even imprint in the millennials' mind that look, all you need to do is call over your house and look at some movies and have some food, or order some Uber Eats, and the rest of the day is history. You've not invested nothing, you ain't paid nothing. It's just what it is. And so I feel like nowadays this culture has it's just kind of stretched out and it's spread like a bad disease. And so now you have the culture of what you call lazy dating, and people are out here just kind of doing bare minimum. They just kind of doing bare minimum, and at the end of the day, there's that looming thought of people needing like I always say, needing their maintenance maintained. So sometimes people go along with it. They go along to get along because, and in the end of the day, there is a need that someone is trying to reach. Now, I've heard women say all sorts of things. They'll say stuff like, look, I don't need it that bad. Forget the date. I'll go get me my own little toy of choice, and I can handle my own. I don't need someone trying to devalue me. And I get it. However, that's nowadays, it really is a war on the woman's value. And I feel like if we can fix that, we can fix a lot of this dysfunction in this world of dating today. I feel like that's where it has to start. I mean, because like I always say, the women drive the culture. And so if we can correct those kind of things like that, it helps. It'll change many of things. And so it's really bad. Like I said, I stand guilty. You know, sometimes we know to do, but we don't because we get lazy. But it's a bad habit to start because, like you said, you don't ever want to practice. You don't want to ever practice diminishing someone's value. Because I've said this myself. We wish to perfect what we practice. So if we're practicing something, we're looking to perfect this treatment. And so you don't want to get comfortable not placing someone's value in their proper place. And so, I mean, because we as men do ourselves a huge disservice when we don't properly value our women. Because women withhold so much that they can bestow upon their husbands, their men, whatever, so much goodness that they don't, because they know you're not valuing me. So I'm not giving you this particular part of me. And we're not talking about sex. We're talking about just those things, the other magical things that women do besides that. And so I think, you know, like I said, women are dealing, like I said yesterday, women are dealing and they're loving on grace. But they right there at the edge of, I'm leaving you alone, because they know that their value is at stake and there's a war on it. And so now they're like, look, I know there's this culture. I know people are lazy dating. I know they're trying to have sex. They're trying to do this, that, and the other. But you need to date me. I promise you, I hear this word all the time. And it says women will say it over and over again. When you hear women say that to men, I need you to date me. That's saying, listen, my value is under attack. And I need you to rise to the occasion and not be a part of the problem. So my question to everybody, you know, what are some ways we can fix this? Because, I mean, look, let's just be honest. It's two people involved. There's men and women involved. So there's not one side's fault. But how do we fix it? You know, how do we fix it? How do we get back out of that zone of the lazy dating era and not putting forth the effort and just having women having to announce what they need and want as opposed to us just organically giving it to them? So let's talk about that today. I think that'll put things starting in a good direction, because we going down a real bad path. I put my own son on the chopping block. I heard my son tell a female on the phone once when he was in his room and I was listening to him talk, kind of like just hearing him talk, and I was doing what I was doing. I was ironing my clothes, and so he was talking about he was supposed to have met some girl the previous night before. And she was supposed to meet him. And I guess she worked and she didn't. Now, mind you, he's sitting home himself, but she's supposed to have worked. She was working. And so he says to her, she was like, hey, I'm sorry I got off late. I didn't get a chance to get up with you. I wanted to meet you. And this is what he said. Yeah, because you missed your turn. I said, I had to stop, put the iron down. I said, now that's a new one. I thought I heard it all and said it all. But no, anyway, he said, I promise you, he said, you missed your turn. And I said, did I hear you correctly when you come with the phone? I said, she missed her turn. What does that mean? He said, I got broads, Dad. So if she out of her place, she missed her turn. I was like, no, you missed your turn. This girl works. She's about something, this, that, and the other. She ain't missing nothing. You missing it. So I had to get to him like that. But nonetheless, it's bad. And so, like I said, the millennials get it like that. Grown folks, you got older men, it's all the same. And now I'm certainly not going to say women don't get taken on dates, because they do. Promise. I mean, this happens all the time, but there's a great number of people today lazy dating. And they're opting for I'm going to cook for you. Let me come by like a cook and all this stuff that kind of promotes convenience. So if you are that woman that feel your value is under attack and you find yourself having to voice to the man, I need you to date me, that's a clear sign that you know your value is under attack, more than likely because in the past, you probably made some decisions involving your body prematurely where you feel like you didn't get anything back on your return and you lost out on the date. So, you know, let's just work on that. That's everybody. The men, you know, let's not shortchange women. Let's not accept it. and let's try to do better. All right. Talk to you all later. Have a great day.